Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we continue our lab, the Star Trek lab. This is the sixth video. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been still working with the Star Trek local domain. We have created the different Active Directory objects like the users, computers, groups, group members, or users to be put in some groups. All of this has been done using PowerShell scripts. Okay, so we have been working this in the previous two labs. Okay, and then we have been working also in the previous video in we have an Active Directory login script that will be applied to all of the Active Directory users. So we have put this Active Directory login script in the folder or a shared folder called net login. This is the place where the Active Directory will search to see if there any script to be applied to users. So you should put any script you need to apply to all users in your Active Directory. You should put it in the net login shared folder. The folder itself, it is in C Windows sysvol scripts folder, but it is named under the scripts folder. Okay, it's named under net login. Okay, so the share name is different than the original folder name. Okay, so after putting the script in the net login shared folder, you need to select all of your Active Directory users and edit their properties. Okay, go to the properties of all of your Active Directory users and open the profile tab, and then in the login script field you need to type the name of the script. Okay, you need only to type the name of the name of the script because the location it is already known by the Active Directory. And then we have tested this Active Directory login script on my username. Okay, I am the domain admin, and it was implemented successfully. In this lab we will begin doing some work, or we will work more on our Active Directory users and objects. We will do something called group cascading. What is the group cascading? Here we will use a simple PowerShell script. What we will do with this simple PowerShell script, here we need to we have a parent group. Okay, so we have an Active Directory parent group which is starcom human. This is the parent group. We need to add all of the human groups in the other ships to this parent group. So let's get to the graph here. For example, here we have a global group, or we have in our Starfleet command center we will have a group called starcom human. Okay, and in every ship, okay, there is another group called human but under the name of the ship. For example, there is something called Active Directory group called Columbia human, and then we have Deep Space human group, and then we have Enterprise human group. So we need to put all of the Active Directory human groups in all of the ships, or in all of the sub OUs in the group, or in the group of the starcom human group which is in the main OU. Okay, so we can see here, for example, that this is the parent group, and then we have Columbia human group, Certus human group, all of the different human groups in the organizational units or in the ships. All of this will be put in the human group. So we have the parent group, and then we have the child group. What is the action we need to add? So we need to add Columbia human Active Directory group in the starcom Active Directory human group. So this group will be a member of this group. Okay, so you are putting all of the human groups in all of the ships in this group. Why we are doing this? So if you need to have a group policy to be applied to all of the human Active Directory groups in the command center or in the main OU and in the sub OUs, we will use this group. For example, if you need here, for example, on this graph, if you need from the Starfleet command center, you have, or you need to apply a group policy to be applied to all of the human species in all of the ships and also in your Starfleet command. So you will have a group called starcom human. This starcom human group will contain all of the human groups in all of the ships. Okay, we will use it to apply a group policy. So here, for example, this is the starcom human, and this is the parent group, and this is the child group, and this is the action. So this is the group. Okay, and this is another group that we need to put, so we need to have this group to be a member of this group, and we need to have this group to be a member of this group. So we'll have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. So we'll have 50, so 14 and then 15 16 17. So we have 17 subgroups, or we have 17 active directory groups, which represents all of the human species in all of the ships. We need to add it to the Starcom human ship. For example, here is, for example, the admiral. This is another group. We will add in it all of the admirals in all of the ships. Okay, here we can see that. Okay, so this is, it is cascading every group. For example, here what we are doing here, we have here groups created here. The number of groups and their names are the same. It will be created in the ships with the same name, okay, but according to the ship. For example, here we have Starcom human, so we will have in Columbia human, we will have Deep Space human. The same groups will be created in all of the ships, but it will be differently named according to the ship name. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are cascading the organization, we are cascading the active directory groups in the sub. So let's continue, guys. Now what I am doing, I will put every active directory group in the sub organizational unit in its correspondent active directory group in the main organizational unit. As I said before, the number of groups here, okay, are the same in every sub organizational unit. So for here, for example, we have 8 active directory groups. Here we will have 8, here we will have 8, here we will have 8, with the same naming, but related to the organization unit or the name of the ship. Okay, as I said before, for example, here we have a group for the human in the Starcom fleet command, so it's called Starcom human. Here we have a group for the human, but in the Columbia ship it's called Columbia human ship. So we will put every sub active directory group in the sub organization unit in the main active directory group in the main organization unit. So this we will do it, and then we will have another script we will use to have something called login. As I said before, I need to limit a certain user, so this is the user, I need him to be limited to log into a certain computer. Okay, if you return back to this graph, as I said before, here this is I consider it as robots. You remember the robots, the one that I said before in the previous video. Here, for example, we have every department. This is the front office department, the kitchen department, the housekeeping department, the IT department. So let's consider, instead of robots, this is computers, and this is a couple of computers. So here we will make active directory user. I will call it for example, engineering robot AI user, artificial intelligent user. Okay, so here I will limit this user to log into the engineering robots, or to manage the engineering robots, or to control them. Okay, if you are not talking about robots, we are talking about computers. So here I have a robot AI artificial intelligent user. It will be running the engineering robots or computers, and the same for every department. Okay, so here I need to limit a certain user. In our practical life, we need to limit a certain user to log into a certain number of computers. So this also will be done using a script. We can see here, this is the user, okay, the SAM account or the Active Directory username, and this is the computer I need him to be limit, or to limit it to access to it. Okay, so this is one, and then this is we'll do in the lab, and I said before, the group cascading, and then we'll begin creating different group policies to be applied to all of our domain, or to be applied to all of our organizational units. So for example, here we will make centralized group policies. It will be applied to all of the ships, or all the sub organizational units, and the main organizational unit as well. So let's begin the lab. Here we will begin it. And also, as another thing, guys, I need to also another thing I forgot to say here, let's go there again for the. Here we have in the Starfleet command, we have the IT group that will manage the Starfleet command, and in every ship will be a group of IT to manage to manage the organizational unit. So here what we will do here, that we will delegate. So here the main IT group, it will delegate to every Active Directory IT subgroup to manage its own organization unit. So let's say this, for example, here is a group called Columbia IT. I will delegate as a Starfleet command, I will delegate to this group the creation of users computers in its organizational unit. So we will make a delegation for every IT group in every ship to do whatever it likes in its organizational unit. For example, here the Columbia IT group will be able to delete users from the Columbia ship, to delete computers from the Columbia ship, to do everything in its organizational unit. But for example, it can't delete, for example, the IT in Columbia can't delete a user in the Deep Space Nine organizational unit. So it's only will be delegated only its or delegated only control over its objects, okay, in its organization unit. So we'll see that also in the lab. So let's begin. So here we will use our login script, or here we'll use our something called add and remove groups. As I show you all, we will use this script to add some child groups or Active Directory groups to their main Active Directory group, okay. So this is the group, okay. And I said before, most of the PowerShell scripts, it needs to read a text file or a CSV file that contains the Active Directory objects they need to create their names and their locations. So this is the same, this script will do the same. It will read from a text file or a CSV file called add groups, the one that I showed you in the beginning of the lab. It will contain the parent group, the child group, and the action. If you need to add the child group to the parent group, you need to add it. If you need to remove it, okay. So the text file or the script will do two things. If you need to, I need, for example, to add this child group to this parent group, so the action is add. If you need to remove, this is also available in this script. So here we can see, for example, that the human, Starcom human, we will add all of these child groups to this main group, okay. And we'll do this the same for every child group. It will be added to its parent group. What is the child group? All of the groups in all of the ships or all on the sub-organizational units. What is the parent group? It is the Active Directory groups in the Starcom Fleet command. This is considered to be the parent group, okay. So now we will begin working with the script. First of all, it will give us an error. It says we have insufficient privileges. Why this is done? Because I am not running the PowerShell script, or I'm not running Windows PowerShell ISE as an administrator. So I need to close it and then run the Windows PowerShell ISE as administrator and then begin applying the script, okay. So I need the same as the PowerShell. So here we need to right click the PowerShell ISE and run as administrator, and then tell him yes. Sorry guys, and then just a moment. Okay, so here we will begin open the Windows PowerShell ISE as an administrator, and then we will run the script from here. So I will open and go and run the script, which is called add and remove Active Directory groups. So we will open it, and then if we run it, it will respond, or it will not give us an error. So here is we can, as we see here, it's giving us notification every child group added to the parent group, okay. It gives us a notification So this is good. It will take a little bit of time because there are a lot of groups. We have 1076 group. We have 1076 group, so all of this will be added. As you see, we can see here the different, or the similarity between the child group and the parent group. They have the same name. We said before why we are doing this, just to have everything centralized. For example, if I need to have a group policy to be applied to the Starcom fleet human group and all of the humans in all of the ships, so I need to have only one group called Starcom human. It will contain the humans in the Starfleet command and all of the groups that contains humans in all of the ships. Okay, so this is a good way, it will not be only applied to the humans group, but all of the groups will work with the same function. Or for example, if we have admirals, for example, I need to have a group policy to apply to admirals in the Starfleet command center and all of the admirals in all of the ships. So we will have the Starcom Admiral Active Directory group will contain the admirals in the Starfleet command ship and all of the admirals groups in all of the ships. Okay, so every ship has its admirals and it will have its group that its admirals will be added to. Okay, so here to take a little bit of time, I will show you all after finishing the script. We will see the results. We will open one of the groups and see if we have already succeeded in working with the adding the groups. The only thing you need to change in this script is to tell him the name of the CSV file. So you need to have the script and the CSV file in one location and just tell him the name of the CSV file. Okay, and here you can see the author of the script is called Marius and Heiken. Okay, I got all of these scripts, by the way, guys, from the script center in Microsoft TechNet. Okay, so here for example of the Starfleet command, when we open for example one of the groups is called Starcom Androian. Okay, so here we can see something here that if you get a little bit backwards, just a minute, if you open for example in the Star group, okay, or the Starfleet command and open the Androian, this is one of the species. Here we can see that, just a moment, here we can see that it will contains, it's called Starcom Androian. We can see that all of the Androian species in all of the ships are added, or all of the Androian Active Directory groups in all of the ships are added to the Starcom Androian Active Directory group in the Starfleet command. So here, if we need to apply a group policy to the Androian species or the Androian members in all of the ships, we will use, or we apply to the Starcom Androian Active Directory group, because all of the Androian species in all of the ships are member of this group. Okay, so this is one. If you open another which is Boloyan, this is another species. Here also you see the same, we have the Boloyan species groups all of added to the Starcom Boloyan Active Directory group. So this is added. Then the engineering, for example, in the Starcom fleets we have all of the engineering groups also in all of the ships are added to this group. So this is the mother group, or this is the parent group, and all of the engineering in all of the ships are added to this group or Active Directory group. Okay, and this is the login. As I said before, I need to limit a certain user to access certain workstations, so we will use this with another script. We will limit our artificial intelligent user to access certain robots for every department. So every department have robots, and every department have an Active Directory user acting as an artificial intelligence. So we will limit the artificial intelligent active directory uses to access the robots or the certain computers. Okay, here we just a moment here, this is the path of the script. We are telling him what is the CSV file it will read. As I said before, it needs, every script will need to read from a CSV file. It will contain the object that I need to create and its location. And this CSV file, it will contain the user that I need to limit it to a certain computer and the name of the computer. Okay, as I've showed you all in the beginning of the video, and now there is two columns, the name of the user and the PC I need to limit it to log into. Okay, and this is the location of the CSV file, and we don't need to change anything, just tell him the location of the CSV file only. Okay, so now we will limit, or we will do this script. We need to open the PowerShell. Okay, run as administrator. Okay, right click and run as administrator. Then we need to go to this folder, or the change the directory in the PowerShell, to go or change directory in PowerShell to change it from C Windows System 32 to D Star Trek DC domain scripts. Okay, the folder that contains the scripts, and then we will begin applying the script itself. Okay, here you go. Now we will do it. Right click and paste, and all of these scripts are added in a Google Drive link in the description of the video. So you will see this, all of these scripts you can use and download it from the Google Drive link in the description of the video. Okay, so now it will take a little bit of time because we have about 2000 robots, okay, or 2000 computers. Okay, so here it is added to all. Take care, but when you limit a certain user to access a certain computer, take care to add yourself in the loop, because if you to add your IT account in it, because if you add only a certain user to access a certain computer, the administrator or the domain admin will not be able to access the PC. I have seen this in the lab, so take care to put your domain admin account, okay, because he will only limit, or he will only let this user access this PC, okay, but the admin will not access it, as I have seen in my lab here. Okay, so we have here Starcom all species. We can see that it contains all of the species and all of the ships. Okay, so what we'll do here is the folder that will contain the backgrounds, or a unified background that I need to apply it to all of the organizational units, or to all of the ships and the Starcom fleet. So here we can see that it is applied to all Starcom species, okay, which now contains all of the Starcom, or all of the species and all of the ships. Okay, so here for example we need to make sure that our script of the login is applied. If we open a certain user, any user, choose any user you need. For example, the artificial intelligent user for the IT. For example, here, for example, we will choose, or the artificial intelligent for the housekeeping. Just a moment. Here it is the artificial intelligence for the housekeeping. If you go to the account and then log into, here you can see that it will only access the robots of the housekeeping. So the artificial intelligent housekeeping user will access the robots of the housekeeping. Okay, so this is one. This is the robots. Okay, we have for every department certain robots. Consider these robots computers just to make it simpler. Okay, so here we are limiting a certain user to access certain number of computers. Okay, this can be done in the practical life. You need to limit certain users to access certain computer departments. Okay, so here we can see this is the housekeeping. We have done this before. For example, the kitchen, this is the artificial intelligent user for the kitchen robots. It will log into the artificial intelligent to access the robots of the kitchen. Okay, so here we have successfully done these two. Now we need to delegate, or we need to have the IT for, there is an IT in every ship. We need to delegate to him everything in his organization unit, creating users, creating groups, so on. So here, for example, this is for the Grissom artificial intelligent user. Okay, for the kitchen, now it will access the robots of the kitchen in the US Grissom ship. Okay, so this is done in every organizational unit. Okay, now we will delegate control. Here you can see that I need to delegate as an IT control of the Columbia ship, okay, to the IT group in the Columbia ship. They can create users in the Columbia organizational unit, you can delete users in the Columbia organizational unit, you can delete computers, everything. So here we will choose, okay, the Columbia ship, then the crew, then we need to, okay, here we can see, for example, I need to delegate to the user which is called Columbia IT admin. So here we have a user called Columbia IT admin. I need to delegate to him everything concerning this organizational unit, creating users in this organizational unit, creating groups, deleting computers, everything. So this is the rights. You can choose what this IT will do. He can create and delete user accounts, he can reset passwords, he can read user information, he can create or delete groups, but all within the organizational unit. Okay, so for example, the IT in Colombia can't delete or manage users in the deep space organizational unit. Okay, so here what you need, you can tell him or you can delegate to him. Actually, I prefer when you are delegating rights, you need to delegate it to a group, not a user. Okay, so we have a group that will have all of the IT in an organization unit, and we delegate it to a group, not to a user. Okay, but here for simplicity I have only one user as an IT, so I will delegate it to him. But in normally you can delegate to the group of IT, not a user of IT, or delegate to the Active Directory group of the IT, not the user or the Active Directory user of the IT. Okay, so now we will do it. So here we can see we will give him all of the rights. Okay, he can do everything. He can delete, change, generate results of group policy, generates, so and so. Okay, create and delete passwords. Okay, so you can choose the rights that you need, okay, for this IT. Then next, and you will repeat this process in every sub organizational unit. So here we have done it. We go to the deep space. Okay, so we done it for Colombia. They will go to the deep space. So finish. Now the delegation is finished. So it's telling you that you have to choose to delegate control of objects in the following, or the Active Directory objects in the following organizational unit. So are delegating control over the Active Directory objects in this organizational unit. If you go to the security, you can see here that the IT admin, okay, of Colombia have full rights on the objects in his organizational unit. Okay, if we can go there, we can see here that you have generate, but you have everything actually. So cancel, and then deep space 9. So we'll delegate control also. Next, delegate control over the Active Directory objects in this organization unit to the IT group or the IT Active Directory user in the deep space 9 organizational unit or deep space 9 ship. So we go to the ship, and then to go the deep space crew. Okay, and then tell him advance. Okay, and then find. Now we will delegate, okay, the control to the IT admin. Okay, so here IT admin. Okay, and then next, and then give him the same rights as the Colombia IT admin. So we repeat this process for all of the organizational units. So here as an IT in the Starcom fleet command, I will give some rights to the IT personnel in every ship to manage his own ship. Okay, to manage his own organizational unit. He can delete users in his organizational unit, he can create groups in his organizational unit. This is for him to do. Okay, and I am the full controller over all of them. Okay, so now we have every ship Here what I'm doing here, I am searching every organization unit to get the IT admin user. Okay, so here is the IT admin. Next. Okay, next, give him the full rights. Generate, okay, all of these rights. Okay, next, finish, and then certus. We will repeat. I can speed the video, but I prefer that all of you can see it to the end. Okay, so here we are adding every IT to manage his own organizational unit. Every organizational unit have an Active Directory group in it called IT, so we will delegate the controlling of this organizational unit to this Active Directory group. Okay, so this is the CS Certus AI IT admin. Okay, we repeat this process. I think maybe you can use a script to do this, but anyway, but this is the way we do it. We will delegate control, or we will delegate some control to the IT in every ship. So we'll do this. We'll delegate discovery, okay, and then add, and then we will add the user. Okay, discovery IT admin. I remember their name, so discovery IT admin, AI IT admin, and then we give him the rights. Okay, it will take about 5 minutes to finish all of the process. So now we will do it, and then, but remember something, guys, here the only thing that I didn't cascade, so we said before we had cascade all of the groups or the child groups to be put in the parent group. The only one that I didn't put as a child group in the parent group, it is the IT. So the Starcom IT group will not contain the IT groups in all of the sub-organization units or on all of the ships. Why? Because I need to make a certain, or I need to make a separate group for them and call it ships IT. Okay, and this I can make policy on them, but I need to separate them from the IT of the Starcom Fleet command. The IT of the Starfleet command, this will be a separate group, and we'll make another group for the ITs of all the ships, because the Starcom IT group will be the domain admins and we have full control, so I don't need to share with me my rights. Okay, so we will make it in a separate group. We will see that in the video also. Okay, so don't worry. So here we are also, I remember the SAM account or the name of the account, so every organization unit will have its IT USS Enterprise AI IT admin. So here is the IT, they are not human, they are artificial intelligence or they are robots. Okay, so here we are doing this. We will do this until the end. Every organizational unit, every ship will have its IT group. Here I am assigning it to users, but as I said before, it is preferred to assign it to a group, not to a user. Okay, but here I have only one user as an IT, so I can directly delegate control to him. Okay, even though I have already an IT group for every organization unit or every ship, I have already. So there is a group, for example, in Columbia called Columbia IT, and there is a group in Deep Space Nine ship called Deep Space Nine IT group. Okay, so this is already there, but when I recorded the video I forgot to delegate it to the group. I delegated to the user. Okay, so this is a mistake of me, but anyway, it's good to see it. And then we will assign the same rights. It will take a little bit of time because they are approximately 16 ship or more. So here, okay, enterprise 9, we'll do it for every ship. Delegate control. So here we have cascaded the groups, we have limited logins, okay, to certain workstations. We have delegated control of the IT. The next step is to begin creating the different group policies and apply them to the different organizational units. This will be our next task after finishing delegation of control. And it depends if you need what rights you need to delegate to these ITs. You can choose whatever it is for you. For example, you need the IT junior, for example, to have different rights than the IT senior, for example. This is your call, okay? So this is USS Auxiliary AI IT admin and the rights. And there's the spaceship of USS Grissom, and assigning the same rights. So this is good in a large domain, or you have a domain or you have a main office and sub office. So this is a good way to work with, to delegate some rights to some IT personnel in the branches, okay, from the main office. So here, for example, I forgot the name. Here I will type it correctly, or I choose it. So here I forgot the SAM account. I will search in the group. So I'll go find now and then search the organizational unit of Grissom ship. Okay, and then we'll go to the Grissom ship and the crew organizational unit, and then search it, find now, and then we will have it. Okay, the IT admin of Grissom. Okay, and then okay, what we need to okay, yes, and then tell him okay, and then next, and then give the same rights. We have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have only 6 ships or 6 organizational units left. Okay, and then finish. Then Hiwatts, I don't, if the pronunciation is right. Then we have USS Reliant ship. We have after the Hiwatha, I think, Hiwatha, or ship Hiwatha, USS Hiwatha, delegated to the Hiwatha IT admin. Reliant, and then the Reliant ship, and then the Saratoga, and then the Shinzoa, and then the Titan ship, and then the Voyager. Okay, so here the Reliant. Okay, then delegate control. Okay, add. You can add users or groups, as I said before, and it's preferred to you work on the group level, not the user level. Okay, this is much better. Okay, but if you need to assign different rights to different users, so you can work on the user level, not the group level. Okay, but if you will give the same rights to the same give the same rights to every IT in the organization unit, so you can work with the group level. Okay, is the Shenzhou. Okay, the Saratoga. Okay, and then we give it the same rights. And then we will create the group policies. I have already exported the group policies from a previous lab, and I will import it here in this domain. And it's not a direct way, because there is no way to import directly the group policies. You need to create empty group policies, or create new group policies that are empty, and then import the configuration of your exported group policies in it. Okay, this is the way. Okay, we have done this before in many labs. Okay, I have discussed in details all of this in the Mass Effect lab, DC Comics lab, and Marvel and DC United lab. Okay, so now we have the IT of the Shenzoa ship. Then next, then finish, we have USS Titan ship. Can then add, and then you will add the IT admin or the artificial intelligence of the IT admin. So let's work with the concept that the IT is no longer it will be no longer a job. It will be an artificial intelligence. Okay, maybe. So the Titan and then the Voyager, finish. Okay, then the Voyager, Delegate Control. This will be the last delegation. Okay, then we give him the same rights. So this scenario mostly fits when you have a main branch and office, or you have a main office and then we have branches for this main office. Okay, this will work perfectly, or it is suitable for this kind of situations. Okay, so now we will begin working with the group policies. Okay, we now will create our group policies. Here we'll create 7 empty group policies, and I have already 7 exported group policies, and then we will import the configuration of the 7 exported group policies in the 7 newly created empty group policies. Okay, so now we will have in the D Star Trek DC domain, we have Marvel domain group policy. This is the group policy. We have about 7 group policies. We will take the names. So first we will create 7 empty group policies with the same name of the exported group policies. Okay, so now we will have, this is the first group policy, advanced users group policy. This is a policy in it telling the Windows or the Active Directory to open USB and DVD for certain users. This is the first group policy. And the second group policy is called Classic Shell admin. This is a group policy for the Classic Shell program. I am telling him to open certain features of the program to certain users. And then Classic Shell policy limited. This is another group policy to close certain options of the program to certain users. Classic Shell, it is a program that changes the start menu of the Windows Server or Windows 10 to be the same like the start menu of Windows 7. Okay, so this is it. Then mapping group policy. This is a group policy that we will use to map certain department shares to certain Active Directory groups. Okay, and then the WSOS group policy. It is a group policy to inform the computers in the domain with the WSOS server name and IP address. WSOS, it is the Windows Server Update Services. It is responsible for distributing the Windows updates to all of the workstations in the domain. Here I'm telling him to import the group policy from the folder that's called Marvel domain. Okay, next, and then I will begin importing one by one the advanced group policy. This is the first one. So I deliberately take the name of the exported groups to be the same as the newly created groups. So here this is the group policy, then the policy admin, we will import it. Okay, next, then import, here it is. Okay, next, finish, and then the Classic Shell policy limited. Take care that the default domain policy and the default domain controllers policy are all created by default, so you don't need to create them. Okay, and take care. I prefer not to import the default domain policy. You need to be very careful when doing this. Okay, tell him okay, this is another one, and you need sorry guys, tell him stopped. Sorry, again here, sorry, go there. Okay, do all of this. Okay, so we have imported this. No, just a moment again. So just a moment, I'm doing here. Okay, just a moment. So here we are making the WSOS. Okay, I have imported the group policy. So as I was saying, the default domain policy, do not import it. Okay, try to revise the setting and do it manually step by step. Okay, this is another thing. And the message that appeared, just a moment, I need to go to the message. Okay, so here we go. As for the default domain policy, okay, just a moment, classic shell limited. Okay, this message appears because we have changed, or when we have created our group policy central store location. So it's telling me that the group policy templates are changed. Okay, their location are changed. So I need to tell him to it's saying that the permissions in GGPO in the sysvol folder are inconsistent with those in the Active Directory. It is recommended that these permissions to be consistent. To change sysvol permissions to those on the Active Directory, click OK. So you need to do this for the default domain policy and the default domain controllers policy. Do all of this and do not import the default domain policy. Do it manually because the settings are different from one domain to another. The default policy of the domain that I have exported from it, maybe it is different. So make it step by step. So this is the default domain policy. Tell him OK, and then we will import it. Next, and then default domain policy. Next, and finish. Okay, then we have the mapping group policy. It will be used to map certain shares or file shares to a certain group. So every department will have some file or some folders shared. They will be mapped to them or according or as a network map drive. Okay, just a moment guys. So let's go here. So we have already done all of our group policies. Okay, here we need to begin attaching them or begin to tell these group policies to be applied to which organizational units. So for the group policy to be applied, you need to have two things. You need to have the location this group policy will be applied to and the users that will be applied to, or the groups that will be applied to. So every group policy need to have two things: the location it will be applied to and what to be applied to in this location. For example, if this organizational unit, this is the location, to which objects it will be applied here. It will be applied to Active Directory groups. And so for example, this organizational unit contains computers, users, groups. This is the location. It will be applied to only groups in this organizational unit. Okay, for example. Okay, so now this is will be done. We need to tell him which to be applied to. So all of these group policies will be applied to all of the organizational units. So it need to be at the top level. We need to make the location to be to the start trick local. It will be applied to the whole domain, not to a certain organizational unit, because we are in a centralized scenario. Okay, or in a centralized company. We have main office and branch offices. All of the group policies need to apply to the main office and the branch offices. Okay, I think even the video it's taking about 1 hour, so maybe we'll make another part of this video. Anyway, so here So here it's telling us what to be applied. Here I'm telling it to be applied to the Starfleet command, but this is not correct. I will delete this and begin working with it later. Here I forgot another group policy to be applied or to be created. It's default users group policy. This is a group policy to close USB and DVD to some users. So the advanced users group policy is to open USB and DVD for some users. The default users group policy, it is the opposite. It is closing USB and DVD for some users. Okay, I imported the setting. Next, and then group policy, and then next, finish. Okay, I think here okay, so this is the group policy. I think maybe we can stop here at applying the group policies, and then we'll begin working with some configuration anyway, but I will stop when the group policies are attached, and then as for configuring them I will leave it for the upcoming video. So now what we will do, we need to apply all of the group policies, okay, to all of our organizational units, the main organizational unit and the sub-organizational units. Okay, so here I will delete or the link to this organizational unit and will be applied to all of the domain. Okay, I will do this in a couple of seconds. So I think I can pass it a little bit quickly here. Anyway, like this. So what I'm doing here, I am deleting the group policies or the linked group policies. I will begin applying the group policies on the domain level. So I will not apply group policies on organizational unit level. I will be applied on the domain level. So all of these group policies will be applied to the whole domain. So to the main organizational units and the sub-organizational units. Okay, so I'm doing this. I am linking them on the domain level. Okay, so here we go there and then okay, and then go there and then okay, and then I think now here we will stop here in this video. This is the 34 minutes 47. I will stop here because the video have already reached about 1 hour. So in the upcoming video we'll begin configuring the different group policies. Okay, and restart the server and see these group policies in effect. So hope this video was informative for you all, and I would like to thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much. It's the 34:47. Thank you.